Hi, this is Jay Seville, the owner of JustNewListings.com. I mostly hang out on a bunch of our beaches here, helping people find their dream home, their second home on the beach or an oceanfront home. And many of them are investors looking at vacation rentals with good ocean views, whether it be the second row or third row or oceanfront. And there's a number of variables and topics that come up regularly when I'm out showing the properties. And just a quick side note, I see it on the local groups on Facebook sometimes, people thinking that the folks buying these homes are wealthy, are rich, etc. And I have to let them know, most of the folks buying these oceanfront vacation rentals or second row homes, they've had this dream for years, and in most cases they've reached the point where they can just about make the numbers work with 30% down and renting it out at a high rental number and still have the right cash flow to make it work. They're by no means wealthy. Most of them are pure middle class, or I'll call it upper middle class. So for what it's worth, you might find that little nuance interesting. It's just a priority for them to be at the beach, and they've been saving and trying to make this happen for years, sometimes 10 years, and finally I'm on in the fourth quarter with them, writing the contract, negotiating the price down, and it's a cool experience. And so far, with everyone I've had to buy these the last 7 years since I moved to North Carolina, from what I can tell, I've yet to receive one report of someone who regrets their purchase. All right, back to the subject, and that would be paneling. Remember in the 1970s, all the paneling on the walls that somehow became hip or stylish? I don't know how that happened or what they were thinking. These must have been the same people that gave us bell bottoms in the 60s or those Mongo sideburns in the 70s. And I'm pretty sure at some point in my life when I was a kiddo, I had walls like this. So let me show you what I'm talking about. Regularly when I'm showing property, I'll come across these beach homes that have this kind of paneling, and it usually makes for a very dark and dismal looking house inside. And I took some other websites here showing this classic from the 1970s era as well, and showing a home that looks like it's around 1972. And here's another one. I think it's fun to show these variations of it. And here's another one. Yeah, especially the cedar paneling. So when you're showing property, one of the things I have to explain to people is the potential of the home. How is it going to do as a vacation rental for Oak Island Homes for Sale or Oak Island Real Estate? What will the numbers be? What will people pay weekly to rent it, etc.? And when you come across homes with this paneling, it's just not impressive at all. Yet contrast it with other homes that I showed the same week, and look at the interior of this home. And you have paneling, you can see it right here, yet somehow the home is happy and bright, and you can tell that it would rent for a lot more. Just painting the paneling alone could increase your rent perhaps 25%. Isn't that insane to think about? And how much does it cost to paint the paneling? Here's another home, an oceanfront home in Oak Island. And you can see that the paneling is there from the 70s, I believe. And what a difference a paint job makes. And this is cheap. Investors can do this repair to a home and increase their revenue significantly. And sellers, by golly, your home, instead of being worth $350, might be worth $375 if you just paint the paneling a pretty color to look at. So when we're looking at homes, and I'm showing you homes as a buyer agent, keep in mind the potential of the home. You have to look past this scenario, because half the homes that are oceanfront or second row are pretty dumpy. That's just the way it is. Yet people pay a lot of money for that 1 week a year they can get by the beach, even old homes like this, which are worn inside. But if you paint the paneling, your rent goes up a lot and your market value goes up. And not only that, while we're talking about it, put in new beds, new furniture, all of which is not that expensive, and your revenue instead of 20 grand a year might actually be 28 grand a year. So it pays for itself real quick. People love shabby chic. They love Pottery Barn. They will pay top dollar for it. I've seen rentals worth like 680 grand, but the rent is almost 100 grand in rental. Why? Because it was top class inside. And people with a lot of money that are on vacation from Northern Virginia, Fairfax County, Arlington, they're willing to pay top dollar to live in a home as nice as the home that they already live in for a week at the beach. And they'd easily rather spend an extra $1,000 that week to live at the level they're used to living and not have to go down at all. So there you go. I'm going to throw in a few more keywords here. That would be Carolina Beach condos for sale. You know, this applies to all of these scenarios. Surf City townhouses for sale, oceanfront. Whatever it is, paint your paneling for gosh sakes, and we'll go from there. I look forward to working with you guys in the future.